President Trump just did President Trump things once again this morning. He sent a message loud and clear to Fed Chair Jerome Powell over interest rates and his refusal to lower them in order to help spur on our economy. We know that there's a lot of politics involved here. Let's get right into it. My name is Clayton Kearns from TrendingPolitics.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It helps us out immensely in the YouTube algorithm, and it helps us to fight back against a lot of these fake news channels that are going around, especially on the left-wing side. It's pretty disgusting what they're able to say about President Trump without being called on it or checked on it. So let's get right into it. The Kobasi letter posted this. He's a financial Twitter account. He's like, "You can't make this up. President Trump just issued a handwritten note to Fed Chair Powell. The note calls Powell too late and shows how U.S. interest rates should be here, pointing to other countries. Are 1% interest rates coming?" Look, Trump is playing bully ball with the Fed, and I think it's going to work. President Trump always gets what he wants at the end of the day. So literally, he had his team print up the World Central Bank rates, and in Switzerland and Cambodia and all these places are sub 1%. And Trump handwrites up here, our interest rates should be around here. They should be at 1%. And here is his handwritten letter to Jerome Powell. "Jerome, you are, as usual, too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars being lost. No inflation." And he's right. We don't have inflation. Inflation numbers are at their lowest levels in years thanks to the policy by President Trump. Now look where we are here. We're number 35. Our interest rates are at 4.5%, and that is capping our growth in a big way. Now what does this mean for your stock market account? What does this mean for your financial standing? If you have a 401k, this is the Kobasi letter. This is what he has to say here. He says, "This is wild. We now have a president who is actively calling for interest rates to be cut to as low as 1%. And he is actively stating that he will be replacing Fed Chair Powell with someone who will immediately cut rates." We'll get into who it is. Meanwhile, stocks are at all-time highs, real estate prices are at all-time highs, U.S. debt is at all-time highs, and crypto is at all-time highs. If the new Fed chair actually cuts rates to 1%, we are going to witness perhaps one of the biggest runs of all time in stocks and real estate. There has never been a time in history where the Fed cut rates to 1% with the stock market and home prices at all-time highs. In May 2026, Fed Chair Powell's turn will officially come to an end. If rates are truly going to 1%, everything is cheap. And again, he's a pretty a pretty objective source. He does go on Fox News a lot, so people kind of attribute Kobasi to a right-winger, but he's really not. He's really kind of fair-minded about a lot of this. And he says, of course, cutting rates to 1% would be an inflationary move. Now, in my opinion, that's not the biggest thing in the world because Trump has already proven the ability to get inflation under control. He says, however, the near-term effects on asset prices would be massive. Just imagine a situation where you reintroduce 3% mortgages in this market. So, who would President Trump replace him with? None other than Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary. He straight up says, "I will do what the president wants." Guys, I mean, asset values would go through the roof if this man is our Fed chair. It would be something to behold here. George says, Jerome Powell needs to be arrested for not cutting interest rates. Look at the core inflation rate. As soon as President Trump got his feet under him as the President of the United States, this is what happened to interest rates. And so at the end of the day, I mean, we could very well witness one of the craziest things we have seen in stock market history. Now, we have until May 2026 to see what's going to happen with Powell. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had something to say about this as well, and let's see what she said.
Previous incompetent administration. I would remind the Fed chair, and I would remind the entire world, that this is a president who was a businessman first, and he knows what he is doing. He has a proven economic formula that worked in his first term as president, and it is working again. The one problem that remains is high interest rates for the American people. The American people want to borrow money cheaply, and they should be able to do that. But unfortunately, we have interest rates that are still too high. So the president sent this note to the Fed chair today. And if you look at this chart, this is a chart of all of the interest rates of many countries throughout the world. At the top is Switzerland. They're only paying a quarter for interest rates. Cambodia, Japan, Denmark, Thailand, Botswana, Barbados, Taiwan, Bulgaria, Cuba, Sweden, Morocco, Cabo Verde, South Korea, Algeria, Canada, Albania, Libya, Malaysia, China, New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago, Czechia, Bolivia, Australia, Costa Rica, the Bahamas, Kuwait, Papua New Guinea, Bosnia, United Kingdom, and the UAE are all paying lower interest rates than the United States of America, which has one of the hottest and strongest economies in the world. The president sent this note to the Fed chair. It says, Jerome, you are as usual too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars are being lost, and there is no inflation. And the president is right. There is historically low inflation thanks to his policies. And we will continue to drive down the cost of living in this country for Americans. We will continue to deregulate.
So, at the end of the day, Jerome Powell is, in a lot of people's minds, making a huge mistake. And we always have to wonder what the politics are behind this, because we know that Jerome Powell has never really been the biggest fan of President Trump. He has constantly kneecapped President Trump's economy and left us all wondering why. And why he would do that to our economy, but there are political reasons. He is part of that, I wouldn't say deep state, but of that just cabal of people who are in the establishment who don't want to see President Trump succeeding. Now, thankfully, we have 3.5 full years left of President Trump in the White House. And we are going to get a new Fed chair in May of 2026. So less than a year away. And I guess we're going to have to see what exactly is going to happen. If it is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, then look out below. So get ready, buckle up, prepare yourself, because I really think the next Fed chair is going to be feeling immense pressure from President Trump, no matter who it is. And he's going to get what he wants in his final 2 years as president. And I'm all here for it. So if you like this video, if you agree with President Trump, let me know in the comments below. Please like and share this video. It helps us out immensely, and I'll talk to you soon.